All right, here are the basics of the School of the Arts Music Department. The room setup. There's the band room, which is the main room, and then we have practice rooms. We have Studio A, B, and C, which are full band practice rooms. They might be in shambles, but I would have a couple of the seniors come in and help set them up. They know what they should look like. Those are full band practice rooms. D is a quiet practice studio. So they have headphones and mixers and pods and all kinds of things to quietly practice. E is a catch-all. We record in there. We use it as a studio. We use it as a keyboard lab. It's used as a vocal practice room or larger group practice room. But E kind of is generally for vocals to have a place to practice. My general setup, if we go back to the band room, is I use it in a few different ways. The main way is daily class setup, more like full band in a traditional classroom. Again, talk to some of the seniors, have them set it up. They'll know what that means. It's 2 drum sets, everyone sitting, 6 to 9 guitar, bass, and we run warm-ups and do this exercise called downbeats, where we just pick a chord, A major 7, and we're going to go up in half steps, and we're going to play ba. So the drummer just goes a 1, 2, 3, 4, ba, and then they go up a half step and do it again. Or we do different jazz rhythms, or we do long notes or short notes. Then we do scales as a group: major, minor pentatonic, different other patterns, chromatic scale. And we use that sitting full band setup to do a lot of learning. The other thing we do is we split and use the 3 rooms at once. So 2 to 3 rooms at once. Once the kids know the material, we split them up in the different rooms. We can play the same thing at multiple times and go and troubleshoot. And the other part is just setting up the band room for full performance mode. So get the PA out. Get the mics out, set it up like it's a real performance, so you only have 1 drummer, 2 or 3 guitars, keyboard, bass, vocals, whatever it is. A little tip, tip. Use the monitor out on the mixer for a metronome and talkback mic. And then the drummer will have a pod and headphones set up, so they can hear the metronome real loud in their ear, and they can hear my mic just in their ear. But over the PA system, the metronome isn't screaming loud for everybody else in the room to hear. That's really helpful. So there's the basic setup of the room. What has made this program successful over the past few years is student-led rehearsals. We don't have enough time and we don't have enough space for the music teacher to run every single rehearsal on their own. So you have to figure out a way to teach skills. So how to rehearse, how to critique and correct each other, how to solve problems, and you'll see this stuff posted all over the room. Break things down, chunk it, isolate it, repeat it, slow it down. You've got to teach them how to do that. Now, I'd use this thing, if you look on the YouTube page for the body song, I use the body song as a way to teach that. So if you look at how to use the body song, you'll find it on YouTube. It'll make a ton of sense. It teaches how to practice and practice habits. If the students don't learn how to practice and they don't learn practice habits, it will make your job a lot harder. But I focus pretty much the whole first quarter, plus there's an activity called First Riff. You'll see that in Drive. That's another way to teach the kids how to practice and how to teach themselves. Again, talk with some of the older kids. They'll be able to tell you what we did and how we did it. Here's an example lesson. So if we look for, in Schoology, a go-go quiz. Now, unfortunately, some stuff is locked up, or I don't know, it's weird right now because it's summertime. But the go-go quiz is the melodies, it's the bass lines and fills, and then the drummers have specific things. They were doing something different. They were actually learning snare solos, while this one student was learning how to do reading 1A. Oftentimes the drummers aren't doing what everybody else is doing because it's just different. This does not look like a good quiz. It's 16 points because it's a 32 measure form, half a point for each measure, I guess. I don't know. This is kind of an arbitrary quiz. This is a quiz that was made to make sure everybody knew the material by a date. I need you to be able to play this song by this date. Go. Before I would do that, though, I would make sure they had all the materials. So if you search Drive for a go-go, you'll get this. Here's a guitar profile. Here's some resources. If you open up that resources folder, it looks like this. Original recording, play along. Here's a video lesson. And then here's the song form, another song form. This is a part about playing a go-go in a couple different levels. If you go to my YouTube page, YouTube, and search here, this little search guy, and type in a go-go, there should be a whole bunch of videos on a go-go. So here's virtual lesson, here's a go-go play-along at 3 levels, here's a go-go bass fills, here's a Dorian lick from a go-go, here's how to play a go-go extensions. So this is how to 1, 1, 2, flat 3. 6th, 1, 2, 3, add 13. So B minor 7, add 13. So what I would do was make sure that the students watch the video as their homework. So the videos become homework. And then in class, I check their material to make sure they know it. So I would assign the melody, melody and chords, and then along with videos to help them. And then in class, we would troubleshoot and correct. If you weren't ready, not ready, get out. They'd have to go practice on their own. So that's a real simple example on that. Let's find another one. So let's do, let's do minor vocab. So here's the minor vocab here, and if you go on to here and search
B minor 9.
Whoa, hey now. Search my channel for minor vocab. Minor vocab. Then here's me playing it on guitar, here's me playing it on bass, here's me doing the vocab with another song.
2, 3, 4. Okay, come together. 3, 4, 1. 1. You got my first hammer. 2, 3, 4. And then she's so heavy.
So they need to learn all the vocab first, and then they would put it together.
3, 4. 1, 2, ready, and again, 2, 3.
However that works. There's tons and tons of stuff already here to be used. You don't have to use it in that way, but it's here to be used. Here's the minor vocab, here's the major vocab, there's a bunch of other ones, there's blues vocab, jazz vocab, there's all kinds of stuff, and it should all be in Drive as well. Let's see here. Okay, setting up shows. If you look in Drive for, let's do, I think it's probably 2016 shows, something like that. Let's see what that looks like. 2016 shows. There it is. Here's all the shows, and you can probably get a little glimpse into how we did it through here. So, rock show. Vocal audition sheet. So what we did, we narrowed it down. We listened to a bunch of songs, we narrowed it down, and then anybody who wanted to audition added their name to that song. So these are the people that are auditioning, and then I do my best to curate these. It's really, really important to curate these. You have to make sure that the people that are on the list are actually able to sing it. It's a bad place to be in when no one can sing the song who signed up for it. Then I'll have the bands, once we finalize that, I'm doing this in a dumb order. So let's talk about song choice first. The first thing they do is they have a little template called Song Choice Template, and they get together and they start to narrow it down. Here's a little bit on here. So it's what's the song called, who sang it, link to it, can someone sing this, ideas and thoughts on how to arrange the song. They get a bunch of songs on here, then the kids vote on it and narrow it down to 4 songs. Once they narrow it down to 4 songs, I work with them on it. I don't know why I said that so weirdly. So it is, choose theme. This is staff member chooses the theme. Then introduce it, some lesson or two. Listen to a bunch of that music. Bands, choose. So that's the song choice, I think, template. And then they vote and narrow. And then the teacher finalizes. And then we go on to vocal auditions. I always, between here, I always run tunes by the vocal teacher. So it just depends. You can listen to them, and of the 15 songs, 13 of them are great, but 2 of them you're not sure if the kids are going to be able to sing them. Just run those tunes by the vocal teacher. They'll tell you. And then you go from there. The downtown shows and the open shows, downtown shows are completely student-led. If you just search and drive for downtown, so let's do that. Downtown. Here's the most recent downtown show. And I always just use this blank template and just delete this and just get rid of everything. Delete all those, and then the kids start to fill it in. And as we get closer and closer to the show, you just start going like this and highlighting and getting rid of songs that that aren't ready to go. So your job is to manage and give the kids time to practice on flex days. Usually I do the last 45 minutes of a flex day. The kids kind of an open time to practice, and I just walk around and making sure they're productive. Then as we get closer to the show, I make everybody perform their song for me. And ones that aren't ready, just don't make it onto the show. Let's see here. The open shows is a way for kids to have their own bands. So it's usually 2 per year. Kids have their own bands play, as well as alumni or local high school bands. It's downstairs. I usually have a student run the show, and if you look for open show in Drive, you'll find like a to-do list and all kinds of stuff that help you figure out what's going on with that. All right, that's the basics of almost everything.